Hey, what's going on? So, today I want to talk about the importance of being passionate and finding passion in things. Now, a lot of people find that the word passion is thrown around too much and it's kind of more of a broad generalization, but something that people don't understand is what real passion is and why it's so important. You just hear, oh, you got to be passionate, you got to care, but why? Not why do you need to care about this, why do you need to care about listening. It's why is the act of being passionate so important? And the reason is because if you're not passionate, you're being dull. And if you're being dull, then you're not going to succeed in anything. It's a lot better to be passionate about something that's wrong than to be indifferent about everything. If you're really passionate about anything, there's a good chance that somebody else is just as passionate about it. You might not know them, you may never meet them, but the importance of it is that it's a shared feeling. It's something that you care about and that brings you joy. Now, the entire meaning of life is not ever defined in any way, but a vast majority of people, myself included, believes that joy is an essential part of it. Finding that joy can come from many different things, but the best part is when it comes from you. And when it's not influenced by anything else, it means that you're passionate about something. I'll give you a real life example of why being indifferent is so useless. And many public schools, I hadn't gone to public school for a while. I returned last year for my junior year of high school. Due to the COVID epidemic, it caused me to reintegrate into that mindset and that mentality, and it was scary. It was scary not because it was new, it was scary because so few people cared about anything. People would show up and go through the motions. They would go through the easiest classes. They would do the least amount of work. Some people would come in, they would be in a class and just be asleep. I don't know about you, but to me that's mind-boggling. I could never contemplate that even. And that's just so crazy to me. Like, they wasted their time. You only have a set amount of time on Earth. And why wouldn't you want it to be the best you could ever have it? You can make that progress and you can improve. It's so important in that regard that you don't waste time and that you are passionate about things. When you're really making a difference for yourself, that's when you know, like, there's no question in your mind of, oh, is this the right thing to do? Should I be doing something else? Like, why am I doing this? Life just flows. That's the when you start losing weeks. That's when you start just going with it. Everything is great. And it's not like boredom indifferent where it's like, oh yeah, the week's going over, oh yeah, it's Tuesday, got through yesterday, I'm on to the next one. Like, you're excited, you get to go to sleep excited and you wake up ready to go. It's a really unbelievably great thing to experience, and it all stems from passion. I know people who are really passionate about specific things. For example, somebody I know is incredibly passionate about music. And music as an industry is very hard to be hyper successful in. But what they can do is they put their passion into projects and their work, and what they do is they find these really great driven people, and together they've been able to accumulate really quality products and services that they've done, and they've been able to sell them and make money because that's what they care about. There's no point in doing something that you don't enjoy forever. People go to college and they do these specialized things. They take years and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of training for things they don't care about, because why? About the result. They care about the result so much, and they care about what other people think of their process and their result so much that they waste immeasurable amounts of resources. Money is something that can be found back. It can't be bought because it's money, but it can be regained, it can be rejuvenated. Something that can never be rejuvenated is time. As somebody who's young, it's very hard to grasp this sometimes, when it's like, oh yeah, I wish I could just go hang out and waste some time away. But you only have a set amount of time on Earth, and you only have a set amount of time when you can really make a difference. For example, I want to play professional hockey, and that's something that I can't do when I'm 40. Well, something I can't start to do when I'm 40. However, if I wanted to become more intellectual, if I wanted to learn how to code on computers, for example, I could do that when I'm 40. I could do that later in life. But the real things that I'm passionate about is hockey, which is physical. And when it's physical, it's something that needs to happen now. That's what's guided me to be passionate about things. And it's really opened my eyes. If I was passionate about something else, I may not have came to this revelation. But I have. And now that I have, I've been able to apply it to every other aspect of my life. I don't need to be making videos right now about my mental state and trying to help others. But I am, because if I start now and I can share this to others who may be older than me, younger than me, the same age as me, it can improve their lives, which will in turn improve the world. And that's just something that the world could do with more, especially at a time like right now. Being able to share is something that is entirely undervalued as well. Many people think, oh, I'm going to enjoy the act of taking, but the act of giving and being vulnerable and being out there is something that is so undervalued, especially in relationships, for example, whether it be with a company, whether it be with a spouse or a significant other, whether it just be between you and a store, right? The store, you go there and you buy things. You buy things, and that's a relationship between you and the company that is there. If that company decides one day, oh, we're going to give out free bagels, right? That's going to improve your life. And what are you going to do? You're going to go to that store more. Now, that is an incentivized decision, but what it really does is it associates the store with a happy feeling. That can happen in many other places. Hopefully, it's not just about money. However, in the store relationship, that is the key transactional point. But whether it can be finding a friend and just saying, hey, I got you this CD that I thought was really cool. Something that they enjoy, and that's going to improve their lives. You don't expect anything in return, but what you get in return is a feeling of fulfillment from yourself. Doing these things unselfishly, expecting nothing in return from giving something, is not something that can be really explained. It's something that's felt, and I encourage you to try it, because you can gain so much from giving and then subconsciously receiving. There's a lot of metaphors about how the world will give back to you what you do, but biologically this is also true. Biologically, when you give something away, you feel, your brain expects something to happen, right? Any action elicits a reaction. That's just basic physics, as Sir Isaac Newton said. However, your brain does this too in biology. And what it does is it rewards itself. It rewards itself for an action that made somebody else happy. Biologically, we like seeing others happy. We like success to be around us. We like it to be a velour that covers us. And when we see success in others and happiness in others, we feel that as well. The idea of empathy and feeling what another person feels is very real biologically. And it's very important to understand that it's not just the concept of hearing, oh, the world will give back to you if you give out. There's a biological reason for that. And sometimes some people are more spiritual, some people are more mechanical. Either way, it's true. And it's so imperative for people to understand that if you give out, you're going to receive. It may not be direct, it may be indirect in some ways, but it's going to happen biologically, metaphorically, however it happens, it will happen. I guarantee. And that's the main thing that needs to happen. You have to be open, you have to be vulnerable, you have to be excited. And when you're passionate about anything, more things happen. Like I said, your brain, it expects reactions from things. One of the laws of physics, for reaction, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That's just like your brain. And the more passionate about things you are, the more actions are going to happen, and subsequently the more reactions. Now, there's also the idea of, this idea has been distorted with the idea of being on, say, your phone and receiving these incredible reactions and from your actions of being on social media, seeing things is an action. For example, like you see, oh, my friend just got a car with their life, and you may feel jealous, or you may feel very excited for it, you may feel genuinely happy, but I guarantee you 9 times out of 10 you don't, and you know that deep down, and it's very difficult to kind of face that and be like, I should feel excited for them, but I'm not. I'm jealous. I wish that I had that life. I wish. You feel envious. And the difference between envy and excitement for somebody else is the motivation behind it. The motivation from what happens is when you have to work for something and you have to go through a process, right? It's not easy. When something is hard, you're rewarded for it. Just like your body, when you're super hungry, you haven't eaten in like a day, and then you have, like, it could be a stale piece of bread. It's gonna taste amazing because your body is like, yes, we're going to survive for longer. Things are more powerful when you have to work for them. When you have this instant gratification on social media and other platforms, you're getting a reward for doing nothing. And the reward then is nullified. It's like going out to go help somebody and pick up their wallet, and you expect instantaneously for them to give you 30 bucks. There's no reason that they would. If you dropped your wallet right there on the street and somebody picked up behind you, would you give them 30 bucks? The answer is probably not. You may be thankful, you may be grateful, but that is not a direct reaction of, okay, you now objectively owe them $30. When people have an expected outcome for something such as that should come from inside them, it nullifies it. It's the same thing as trying to receive something without working for it. It's so imperative that you're not afraid to put in the work. You're not afraid to be vulnerable. And it may hurt sometimes, but when does anything not? The stigmatization of the modern world is that nothing should hurt, but things are going to hurt, and they should hurt. If nothing hurts, how are you going to learn? If nothing ever hurt, if I fell off a cliff and it didn't hurt, I would think, oh, this is fine, I can do it again. But we need to learn from these things on what we don't like, what we don't want to do, and from that we could find what we do like and what we do want to do. And when you're passionate about anything, whatever it is, you're going to get closer to finding what you really do and what you really enjoy in life. And from that, you're just going to have a better life.